Audio Morning Brief. It's October 27 and it is 8:28 a.m. Eastern Time. I'm Rich Paz for Critical Point. December corn futures, the model's saying if it gets very aggressive timing, it's saying the level 3 bottom is in. Market should be higher next week. And so we ought to see a little support today. And we're seeing it overnight, but very little. Now, with less aggressive timing, it's saying, well, it's in a bottoming process. Evidence would probably be higher than what we currently have overnight, which is about 2 cents. Probably get it over the 5-day average. Maybe get it over yesterday's high at 484 and a quarter. Get some positive close. Trend following, yes. Need that positive close above that high, and even need trade above 486. So it's just how aggressive do you want to be? How much do you want to miss out on the way up? Now, it's also possible, however, it's topping for level 4 today. It'll be down by Monday. That extends to level 3 into early next week, even though ideally it bottoms this week. And if it is going down, then you have to consider it might go as low as 470. So that's some of the risk range there if you're a buyer, or some kind of day trading, intra-week trading if you're bearish here and trying to bet that the 5-day average in yesterday's high is going to hold as resistance. Daily indicator 532 slow stochastic is on the buy side this morning, with the market being up 2 cents. I don't know if it will stay on the buy side. If it's up a half a cent or 1 cent, I don't know. But I think if it closes with a buy signal on Friday today, I think we got an opportunity here that the market's going to rebound. Now, upside potential may be limited to 490, but I can see almost to $5 for the level 3 uptrend. And you know my stance on the weekly chart and the level 1, level 2 trends, the more important trends during the year. I think this market's going to be supported for a while here. But at the same time, I can see it stalling out, doing nothing. We really don't have enough aggressive, bullish, fundamental news information right now. But we have enough that I think we need to assume seasonal and harvest lows are in place. Business cycle bottoms are in place, and the market's probably moving higher into next summer. So I've given you some downside potential, I've given you some upside potential, I've given you some patterns to watch, and I'm just saying this thing, I think it's probably bottomed for level 3, but it can be off by a couple of days. All right, let's move on to the January soybeans. Now, I have them up 15 cents overnight. It's already rejected yesterday's down move. The model's saying level 4 bottom as of today. Level 3 bottom as of today. It's actually calling it. But that is still a bit aggressive timing-wise. The model does show it doesn't have to bottom early next week. Even first half week, it's actually added an extra day for next week if it wants to do that. And this thing could just be gyrating, fluctuating around here, knee-jerking around for a while. But the daily indicator 532 slow stochastic is turning long today with this strength, and it is oversold, and it is time for level 3 bottom. So far as I'm concerned, the technical crowd is playing the role of being a level 3 trader, and they're done selling, they're back to buying, okay? And that's probably more fund trader, but it can be retail, it can be individuals, okay? But the model's also suggesting the commercial side needs to buy some corn. And the supply side, whether it's other commercials or just farmers, are willing to back off a bit here. So I think if you see trade above 1320, or let's make it 1320 and 3/4, that's the October 25th high. That's the trend following, and a little late even, evidence for level 3 trend. And that also would set up objectives to put this market on up towards 1340 to 1350s, okay? And the model's just saying probably soybeans are higher next week, okay? But it can be off by a couple of days, but I think it looks good. It looks better than corn right now. I think the demand is there, the strength is there. I think the seasonal harvest lows are in place for futures. No evidence on the national cash index. I'm fine with that. That's how it may work for a while, as the cash and basis kind of, the basis remains soft maybe, or stubborn or whatever, and it just holds that cash market trying to reject what the future's doing. But the future, as far as I'm concerned, they're telling us I'm bullish in the next summer. Okay, of course, we still have to deal with the harvest from Brazil, and I'm really not seeing enough Brazil bullish information there yet. But maybe that's going to come in increments over time. And even if it doesn't, I'm okay with it. I think we found some kind of floor price. Even if beans don't want to do anything for a few months, that's okay. It probably will just build more upside potential going into summer. So I've given you an upside. How about the downside? Well, if it wants to take out the And I will admit, this looks like a double, even triple, even quadruple bottom, okay? Consecutive days, that concerns me. That just isn't right and something weird and it ought to be violated. Yet I like today's strength. I like the model making the call. I'm going to call it with it and say it's going higher anyways. But, just look at today's low and the prior 3 days low. Starts violating all of that. I would be concerned we got to swing down below 1293 to maybe as low as about 1280, but that's all I'm really seeing. You might argue we got almost the same amount of downside as upside potential for the level 3 now and through next week, but it looks like there's more upside than that. And as we zoom out and look at those larger trends, I say beans, they may be more sideways to up somewhat, maybe a grind higher, but it may be a really nice uptrend. All I know is it looks like we're going to have more demand than supply and prices are going to work higher into late November, mid-December for those larger trends. So I like it. I think we got a bottom here. Now, let's go over to the December Chicago wheat. And I think Europe will kind of catch up and the world will go along with the U.S. And I think Kansas and Minneapolis will either lead or lag with the U.S. Any rate, I believe a level 3 bottom is in place yesterday. Can be early. It might have a level 4 top today. I prefer on Monday. So I think it's going to bounce some more, but Miles warning it can top here and ease back on us into Monday for another level 4 bottom, and it may take out yesterday's low, so it wound up extending the level 3 downtrend instead of having a bullish characteristic or attitude, okay? But I like the 532 daily slow stochastics turning to a buy signal today. The market is fluctuating around the 5-day average. Again, that could be a pivot point, higher, lower, and I'm sure some for the moment are thinking, is that resistance? Are they going to put wheat back down? And they may, but looking out to next week, wheat ought to be up at least a little, maybe some, maybe quite a bit. And as I look out to those larger uptrends, or larger trends that I believe are up into late November into mid-December, similar to soybeans, and a little later, longer than corn, I think there's more upside. I think it's going through $6 before year end. But on the downside, we may yet have to see a slip back to 550. That's the lowest I see. And my guess is I'll really only go a few cents lower than yesterday's low, which was at 563 and a quarter. So I think it's limited downside, more upside. And I think we're starting a brand new bull market into next summer, or at least into spring harvest. My guess is it's summer, and so I'll have to deal with the spring harvest for a potential setback before going higher in summer as well. And I see all three markets higher by summer. All right, that's all I've got for you today. No update on the dollar and the world and this and that. Everything's a mishmash here. But overall, I think the microeconomics and the regular trading, getting business done, has a bit of a bullish bias over the next few weeks for the grain markets. Thank you and have a great weekend.